I see this land. It is truly a pleasure to see you. Remasa Othril is dead, yes, but you also killed her sister, Vedalea Othril. I was saving her for an experiment of mine, and now you've ruined it. Report back to Arion that I am well, and don't come here ever again.
I don't know where to begin. It is such an honor to...
Are you here to discuss your stronghold? Yes, I want you to check on your stronghold, which is being built on the alleged site of Uvarith's grave. I will mark it on your map. Go there and speak with Gashnak Gra Mughal, the foreman in charge of constructing your stronghold. Yes, I want you to check on your stronghold, which is being built on the alleged site of Uvarith's grave.
Is there something you need? These are the docks of Molag Mar, Outlander, and I'm Rindral Draelor, shipmaster of Molag Mar.
Yes, Outlander, what do you...
These are the docks of Telbra Nora, and I'm the shipmaster. Tell me your destination.
Your words are great.
Take care. There are thieving Ashlanders about. A couple of them just robbed me of my Gwar hide shipment bound for Tel Arun. Yeah, a couple of them jumped me and took my hides. I didn't even see them coming. Sneaky, those Ashlanders are. If you can get them back for me, I'd really appreciate it. Figure you might know this area a little better than I do. If you can get them back, my father in Tel Arun will pay you well for your trouble, I swear it. Excellent. Took me forever to hunt down those hides in the first place. Luckily, I found a good-sized herd not too far south of here. I'd really appreciate you getting them back so I can make my Gwar hide shipment. They would be easy enough to recognize as mine. I made sure to put my stamp on them immediately. Go ahead.
You hear about your tower? Tell Lunala Hlaren things are fine here. The work will be done soon. I'm the foreman here at Tel Uvarith. I keep the workers in line and make sure the job gets done, though these mushrooms just about grow themselves. If someone attacks you first, if you want to improve a skill you're terrible at first it seemed the fuss about the Nerevering prophet.
You seem worthy of my knowledge. You may speak.
We are blessed, truly blessed.
Are you here to discuss your stronghold? I am pleased to hear that the mushroom is growing so well. Thank you for keeping me informed. Your stronghold should finish its first stage of growth in a few days.
Is there something you need? You looking for a ship? What's your destination?
Is there something I can do for you?
These are the docks of Tel Mora, Outlander, and I'm...
I don't know where to begin. It is such a... Oh, look, an outlander. Are you lost, poor thing? Did the big bad beasts bite you, so you need a healer? Or do you need our trader, so he can take your gold and give you things we would throw away or give to our guar? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want?
Please join me.
Come closer. Let me see you. Yes, I think it is you, the one they talk about. The Outlander who claims he fulfills the Nerevarine prophecies. He is the mightiest champion and greatest Ashkan of all the Ashlander tribes. A very great man. You should talk to him. He is a very curious man, always speaking with traders and travelers about the news of the world. Go ahead. Our great chief does not stand on ceremony. You may enter his yurt if you are clean and courteous. None of our tribe would do this thing unless we had been wronged by this trader.
So, you are the Outlander who claims to fulfill the Yes, we know of the prophecies. We know there are many prophecies, all of them mysterious and obscure. Our wise woman, Sonumu Zabamat, has told her chief all about these prophecies and given her interpretations. A certain day to uncertain parents. The curse of flesh before him flies. In caverns, dark Azura's eye sees and makes to shine the moon and star. Standard prophet talk, voices and verses. Very interesting. But true? Who can tell? Will this Argonian make the Telvanni deal with us fairly? Will this Argonian make the Empire give us better prices so that we can feed our people? Will this Argonian give us a place on the council? Will this Argonian kill the blighted creatures and the outlaws that plague our village? Then we have no time for this Argonian. Sharing is good. I like sharing. Will this Argonian make the Telvanni deal with us fairly? Will this Argonian make... Thank you for sharing these tales and rumors. For our part, we have little news. We hear other tribes are troubled by blight storms and monsters, but we are the mighty Zainab, and such things do not bother us. So have you gathered the votes of the other counselors? You are qualified for wizard, but you must first build a stronghold. Yes, the leader of the Hlalu in Odirniran has been retired. Perhaps they will not be so hasty to oppose us next time. You dealt with the problems in Odirniran. I am your patron. You have demonstrated your knowledge of the basic spells. Baladas is now on the council. While I die, thanks to recent agreements with House Hlalu, we have a chance of passing a resolution which would overturn the Mages Guild monopoly. According to one interpretation of the armistice, only the Mages Guild can officially offer spells and training to non-members. Speak with the House Redoran counselors in Aldrun. If you can convince at least 3 counselors, we will have enough support in the Grand Council. I would start with Athin Sarethi, as he seems to be the most open-minded.
We are blessed.
May you find
truly
me
blessed.
worthy.
This is an
So have you gathered the votes of the other counselors?
Do you want something?
Go ahead, Outlander. What do you need?
You've got my ear. I am Naminda, drill master and recruiter. If you wish to join House Redoran, you have come to the right place. He has no official title. He represents...
Why are you here?
I've heard a lot about you, Outlander. Go ahead.
What is it, Outlander?
I've heard a lot about you, Outlander.
False incarnate, agent of the Emperor, outlaw, unbeliever. House Redoran knows how to deal with outlanders like you. You're the one they claim fulfills the Nerevarine prophecies? Then you are a heretic, as the temple says, and you can expect no welcome from House Redoran. You want something? False incarnate, agent of the Emperor, outlaw, unbeliever. House Redoran knows how to deal with outlanders like you.
I am Tuveso Beleth, and this is my son Deval. I am a smith of House Redoran.
Can we hurry this up?
Hello again. What can I do for you?
I've heard a lot about you, Outlander.
I'm fine, thank you.
Is there something I can do for you?
Can we hurry? False incarnate, agent faction members only. Can we hurry this up? What is it, Outlander?
You've got my ear. Let's hear it.
Can we hurry this up? What is it, Outlander?
I am Athen Serethi, a counselor of House Redoran. What can I... Faction members only? These ash statues trouble me, but they are not your concern. Yes, I see your point. The Mages Guild monopoly is unfair. I will support this resolution to overturn the Mage Guild monopoly. Perhaps you could convince the other counselors with an appeal to fairness. The only counselor who would never support this resolution is Archmaster Bolvin Venom. You may be able to convince the other counselors if you use an appeal to fairness. House Redoran does not approve of all that House Telvanni does, but we are proud of our record of just and fair dealings with the other great houses. The other counselors may be easier to persuade if you take this approach. He is a strong leader and has done great things for House Redoran. How can I explain the hold he has over the hearts of the Redoran people? He brought us back from certain defeat. He moved the council here to Vvardenfell and took our share of the frontier lands. He is a natural leader, born to rule. One only wishes he was just and fair as well as strong. Since the Morvain Manor has been overrun, Mistress Morvain stays in the Redoran Council Hall. Speak with her there and get her support. Garisa Lethri will be in Lethri Manor, the last manor on your left as you enter Scar, between the Redoran Council Hall and my own home. It may be difficult to win his support, but you will have to speak with him and find out what he asks in return. You must speak with Minor Arabar. His manor is the last on your right as you enter Scar, between the Redoran Council Hall and the Morag Tong Guild Hall. That's a title given to a war leader among the great houses. Why are you interested? Only the Redoran councillors can choose a Hortator for House Redoran, and it must be unanimous. The Hortator's duty is defined by ancient custom, but in essence, a Hortator is a house champion, and must be both skilled in combat and known for his courage and honor. Currently, the Redoran councillors are myself, Athin Sarethi, the Archmaster Bulvin Venom, Garissa Lethri, Hlaran Ramaran, Brara Morvain, and Minor Erobar. Please take this copy of the Red Book. It lists each of the councillors and where they currently reside. Ramaran Manor is between my home and the entrance to Scar. He has a temper, especially with foreigners, but he trusts my judgment. I believe I can convince him to support us.
What is it, Outlander? What is it, Outlander? Can we hurry this up?
False incarnate, agent of the Emperor.
I've heard a lot about you.
Can we hurry
Outlander.
this up?
Go ahead.
I've heard a lot about you, Outlander.
Can we
Go
hurry
ahead.
this up? Yes, Outlander. What do you want?
What is it, Outlander? Is there something I can do for you?
Why are you here?
I am Hlaran Ramaran, Lord of Westgash and a councillor of House Redoran. Who exactly are you? I'd rather not fight about it. Go ahead. What did you want? Your words have convinced me. Though it is rare that I agree with a Telvanni proposal, I will agree to this. The Hortator is a war leader of a great house. Why do you ask? That's a good story, and an impressive ring. You look like a hero, but you're an outsider, and I don't know if I can trust you, especially when the Honorable Beryl Sala claims you are an Imperial spy. Let me talk to the others. I will consider what you have said, but that is all I can promise.
Can we hurry this up?
What is it, Outlander? Why are you here? What do you want? What is it, Outlander?
The first monster was actually two, having been born twice like his mother-father, Vivek. He was not the mightiest of the 8 to escape Muatra, but his actions were the most worrisome. He was known as Moon Axle, and he harvested the leftovers foibles of nature. This he did twice, as was said, and the second harvest always brought ruin or unwritten law. His aspect was faceted like a polyhedron. No perils are mentioned in the finding of Moon Axle, but it was known that he was immune to spears, so Vivek had to use the sword not held against him. Before he took issue with the monster, the warrior poet asked, "How came you to be immune to spears?" To which Moon Axle replied, "Mine is a dual nature and protean. I am in fact made of many straight lines, though none last too long. In this way I have learned to ignore all true segments." Luckily, the sword not held was curved, and therefore could cut into Moon Axle, and before the sun was up he was bleeding from many wounds. Vivek did not slay him outright, for to do so would keep the foibles of nature within him and not back where they belonged. Soon Vivek had traced geography right again, and Moon Axle was ready to be slain. Vivek rose up in his giant form to be terrible to look upon. He reached into the west and pulled out a canyon, holding it like a horn. He reached east and ate a handful of Nyx hounds. Blowing their spirits through the canyon made a terrible wail, not unlike an unsolved woman. He said, "Let this overtake you." And Moon Axle was overtaken by the curvatures of stolen souls. They wrapped about the monster like resin, until finally he could not move, nor could his dual nature. Vivek said, "Now you are solved," and pierced his child with Muatra. Moon Axle had been reduced to something static, and therefore shattered. The lines of Moon Axle were collected by Velothi philosophers and taken into caves. There, and for a year, Vivek taught the philosophers how to turn the lines of his son into the spokes of mystery wheels. This was the birth of the first whirling school. Before, there had only been the surface thought of fire. Vivek looked at his first wheeling students and observed, Alike, the egg-layered universe is this morbid possession of three distant coverage, soul-wrecked and alive, like my name is alive. In this cloister you have discovered one walking path, hilled like a sword but more coarsened. So edged it is that it has to be whispered to keep the tongue from bleeding, where its signs evacuate their former meanings, like empires that tarry too long. The sword is estrangement from statesmanship. Look on the estimable lines of my son, now crafted star-wise, his every limb equidistant from the centre. Is he solved because I will it so? There cannot be a second stage. Think on the theory that my existence promulgates the 5 elements, and alike the egg-layered universe, I am cause for great density. Here is a thought that can break the wagon's axle. Here is another that can soar. The ending of the words is Almsivi.
I've heard a lot about you, Outlander. Go ahead. What is it, Outlander?
I've heard a lot about you, Outlander. Go ahead. You must explain why you have come here, and quickly. No speeches or excuses. Use your words with care, for I am a counselor of House Redoran and a very busy man with many duties and responsibilities. I am not one to stand about idly while others chatter on and on about the most trivial of subjects. It's okay, really, I didn't mean it. In the course of events, it is sometimes necessary to put aside the childish notions of allies and enemies and focus instead on a debate in which propositions are considered based only upon their merits. This, indeed, is one of those times, and you have defended your position well, answering all of my concerns. I, therefore, shall support the revocation of the Mages Guild monopoly, lest history look upon my actions with a baleful eye and claim that I allowed expediency to overwhelm principle. Hortator is an ancient term for a war. You came to tell me that you are the reincarnation of Indoril Nerevar. Azura spoke with you in a cave and told you that because you are the reincarnation of Nerevar, that you must become the Hortator of all 3 great houses, and that is why you are standing here now, telling me this story of the tribunal stealing power from a god's heart with Dwemer tools, and that Dagoth-Ur is not dead, but even now plots to conquer Morrowind with the power of this alleged heart. Is that correct? Normally I would believe you mad and call a priest to attend to you, but I am a gods-fearing, faithful servant of the temple, and I have heard the story of the moon and star. Your story troubles me, and I am tempted to believe, but I must consider Beryl Sala's accusations, and you have little proof, and I am reluctant to give such responsibility to a stranger. I will consider what you have said and consult with the temple and my fellow counselors.
What do you want?
The Hortator wandered through the morning hold, wrestling with the lessons he had learned. They were slippery in his mind. He could not always keep the words straight, and knew that this was a danger. He wandered to find Vivek, his lord and master, the glory of the image of Veloth, and found him of all places in the temple of false thinking. There, clockwork shears were taking off Vivek's hair. A beggar king had brought his loom and was making of the hair an incomplete map of adulthood and death. Nerevar said, "Why are you doing this, my lord?" Vivek said, "To make room for the fire." And the Hortator could see that Vivek was out of sorts, though not because of the impending new power to come. The golden warrior poet had been exercising his water face as well, learned from the Druffs before he was born. Nerevar said, "Is this to keep you from the fire?" Vivek said, "It is so that I may see with truth. It, and my place here at the altar of Padhome in the house of false thinking, serve so that I may see beyond my own secrets. The water face cannot lie. It comes from the ocean, which is too busy to think, much less lie. Moving water resembles truth by its trembling." Nerevar said, "I am afraid to become slipshod in my thinking." Vivek said, "Reach heaven by violence, then." So to quiet his mind, the Hortator chose from the fight racks an axe. He named it and moved on to the first moon. There, Nerevar was greeted by the parliament of Craters, who knew him by title and resented his presence, for he was to be a ruling king of earth, and this was the lunar realm. They shifted around him in a pattern of entrapment. "The moon does not recognize crowns or scepters," they said, "nor the representatives of kingdoms below, lion or serpent or mathematician. We are the graves of those that have migrated and become ancient countries. We seek no queens or thrones. Your appearance is decidedly solar, which is to say a library of stolen ideas. We are neither tear nor sorrow. Our revolution succeeded in the manner that was written. You are the Hortator and unwelcome here." And so Nerevar carved at the grave ghosts until he was out of breath, and their parliament could make no new laws. He said, "I am not of the slaves that perish." Of the members of parliament, only a few survived the Hortator's attack. A surviving Crater said, "Appropriation is nothing new. Everything happens of itself. This motif is by no means unassociated with hero myths. You have not acted with the creative impulse. You fall below the weight of destiny. We are graves, but not coffins. Know the difference. You have only dug more and supplied no ghosts to reside within. Central to your claim is the predominance of frail events. To be judged by the earth is to sit on a throne of wonder why. Damage us more, and you will find naught but the absence of our dead." The ending of the words is Alm Sivi. Then Vivek left the first whirling school and went back to the space that was not a space. From the provisional house he looked into the middle world to find the second monster, which was called the Treasurewood Sword. Within years of the pomegranate banquet it had become a lessening tune to the lower Velothi houses. They preached of its power. The Treasurewood Sword, splinter scintilla of the high and glorious. He who wields it becomes self-known. The warrior poet appeared as a visitation in the ancestor alcove of House Mora, whose rose-worn Prince of Garlands was a hero against the northern demons. Vivek congregated with the bones. He said, "A scavenger cannot acquire a silk sash and expect to discover the greater systems of its predecessor. Perfect happiness is embraced only by the weeping. Give me back, and do so freely, what is barren of my marriage, and I will not erase you from the thought realm of God. Your line has a notable enchantress that my sister Ayem is fond of, and from her murky wisdom alone do I condescend to ask." A bone walker emerged from a wall. It had 3 precious stones set in its lower jaw, a magical practice of old. One was opal, the colour of opal. The bone walker bowed to the Prince of the Middle Air and said, "The Treasurewood Sword will not leave our house. Bargains were made with the Black Hands Mephala, the greater shade." Vivek kissed the first precious stone and said, "Animal picture, rude walker, go back to the lamp that stays lit in water and store no more messages of useless noise. Down." He kissed the second precious stone and said, "Proud residue, soon dispersed, serve no guarantees made in my foreimage and demand nothing of its underskin. I am master evermore. Down." He kissed the opal and said, "Down I take thee." And then Vivek withdrew into the hidden places and found the darkest mothers of the Morag Tong, taking them all to wife and filling them with undusted loyalty that tasted of summer salt. They became as black queens, screaming live with 100 murderous sons, 1,000 murderous arms, and 100,000 murderous hands, one vast moving event of thrusting kill laughter in alleys, palaces, workshops, cities, and secret halls. Their movements among the holdings of the Ra'adim were as rippled endings, heaving between times, with all fates leading to swallowed knives, murder as moaning, God's holy rape erasure of wet death. The king of assassins presented to Vivek the treasure-wood sword. "My lord," the king of assassins said, "the prince of House Mora is now fond of you as well. I placed him in the corner of Dagon. His eyes I set into a fire prayer for the wicked. His mouth I stuffed with birds." The ending of the words is Almsivi. The scripture of the city. All cities are born of solid light. Such is my city, his city. But then the light subsides, revealing the bright and terrible angel of Veloth. He is in his pre-chimerical form, demonic Vake, gaunt and pale and beautiful, skin stretched painfully thin on birds' bones, feathered serpents encircling his arms. His wings are spread out behind him, their red and yellow ends like razors in the sun. The wispy mass of his fire hair floats as if under water, milky in the nimbus of light that crowns his head. His presence is undeniable, the awe too much to bear. This is God's city, different from others. Cities from foreign countries put their denizens to sleep and walk to the star-wounded east to pay homage to me. The capital of the northern men, crusty with eons' ice, bows before Vivek the city, me it together. Self-thought streets rush through tunnel blood. I have rebuilt myself. Hyper-eyed signposts along my traffic arm, soon to be an inner sea. My body is crawling with all gathered to see me rising up like a monolithic instrument of pleasure. My spine is the main road to the city that I am. Countless transactions are taking place in veins and catwalks, and the roaming as they roam over and through and add to me. There are temples erected along the hollow of my skull, and I will ever wear them as a crown. Walk across the lips of God. They add new doors to me, and I become effortlessly trans-immortal with the comings and goings and the stride heat of the market where I am traded for. Yell of the children hear them play, scoffed at, amused, desired, paid for in native coin, new minted with my face on one side and my city body on the other. I stare with each new window. Soon I am a million-eyed insect dreaming. Red sparking war trumpets sound like cattle in the ribcage of shuffling transit. The heretics are destroyed on the plaza knees. I flood over into the hills, houses rising like a rash, and I never scratch. Cities are the antidotes to hunting. I raise lanterns to light my hollows, lend wax to the thousands the candlesticks that bear my name again and again, the name innumerable, shutting in, mantra and priest, God's city, filling every corner with the naming name, wheeled, circling, running river language, giggling with footfalls, mating, selling, stealing, searching, and worry not ye who walk with me. This is the flowering scheme of the Orbis. This is the promise of the PSJJ. Egg, image, man, God, city, state. I serve and am served. I am made of wire and string and mortar, and I exceed my own precedent, world without am. The ending of the words is Almsivi.